Why is sugar such a major concern for our health today? And what are some of the biggest health issues linked to like these high sugar diets?
It starts off with really exploring medical nomenclature. Itis meaning inflammation in Latin. And so whenever you're talking about inflammation, you just get the Latin name of the body part and then you will attach the word itis at the end of it to signify inflammation of that particular body part. So laryngitis, inflammation of the larynx; dermatitis, inflammation of the skin; conjunctivitis, inflammation in the eyes; myocarditis, inflammation of the heart; meningitis, inflammation in the brainstem. So when you start looking at these things, prostatitis, right? Colitis, inflammation of the colon, right? Inflammation of the prostate before. And you start realizing that the majority of these diseases end with itis, then the fundamental question becomes, well, if the majority of diseases end with the word itis, and itis means inflammation, then you can use inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning really at the same time, that the majority of diseases are caused by inflammation or they're inflammatory based diseases. And then the next question follows, what causes inflammation? And upon investigation, you find out that there are three sources of inflammation. The first source would be injury, the second source would be infection, and then the third source would be food. And in industrial society, the main source of inflammation is coming from food. I'd say about 80 to 85% of inflammation that people have comes from food, not from injuries and not from infections, but just from food. And so what is in the food that is causing this inflammation? And the main culprit is sugar. And so when we start to look at sugar, we start to realize that although it is sweet, it is not our friend. It feeds parasites, it feeds pathogens, and it causes inflammation, which is the desired environment for diseases. Diseases thrive in inflammatory environments, diseases including cancer, parasites, viruses, what have you. They thrive in inflammatory environments. And so if you want to keep on eating sugar, you're going to keep on having internal inflammation in different parts of your body, which will then be the resting place and the home of all types of opportunistic diseases. So one of the best things that people could do for their health without taking any medicine, without spending any money, is literally just cut out sugar and sugar forming foods. This is known as a ketogenic diet. It's really that simple. And so what are the foods that add sugar to your blood? These would be the refined carbohydrates, or really any carbohydrates, but the refined carbohydrates are actually the biggest culprits because they turn into sugar very quickly, about 10 minutes of digestion. This is your wheat, this is your white flour, this is your pastries, your bagels, your donuts, your cookies, your crackers, your bread, your pasta, your rice, your grains, all of those things, your cereals, all of that converts into sugar as if you just had teaspoons of sugar. Your soda drinks, all of that is adding sugar to your blood, which is adding inflammation to your body, which is then creating the perfect environment for diseases. And so if people would like a shortcut in healing themselves, it could be just cut out sugar. Like that would be the best thing that you could do if you've got autoimmune diseases, if you've got cancer, if you've got high blood pressure, if you've got diabetes. People think the sugar is just associated with diabetes, but sugar is actually associated with high blood pressure because it causes inflammation of the arterial walls. It's associated with cancer because cancer tumors and parasites feed off of glucose mainly, secondarily glutamine, but they mainly feed off of glucose. But so just cutting off sugar from your diet and adopting a ketogenic diet will reverse most people's problems. The medical establishment has you taking pills for the rest of your life, but not having you discontinue the toxic inputs. So this is what we're doing is that when we're saying to stop eating sugar and vegetable oils, by the way, that's the vegetable seed oils. Those are the two most corrosive things to people's health in their diet. These canola oils, corn oils, sunflower oil. The only oil that you should be really cooking with is unrefined virgin coconut oil. Not even olive oil, not even avocado oil, because they have low burn points. And a lot of the olive oil in the United States is adulterated and mixed with canola oil, which is extremely toxic because of the content of linoleic acid, which is inflammatory. So if you cut out the vegetable oils and you cut out the sugar, you'll be doing a lot in reversing your high blood pressure, your diabetes, your cancer, your autoimmune illnesses, aches and pains, and all that. All that is inflammation. So you want to stop feeding the inflammation. And cutting sugar is the most important thing that you could do. And vegetable oils. If you cut that out your diet, most of you would not even need to be on medication anymore.
You heard what our brother said, family. Sugar is a leading cause of many ailments, killing our people. I'm pleading with you, please research the ketogenic diet. Begin reducing your sugar intake. Cut back on the cake, pie, cookies, and pasta. Start walking, exercising, even if it's a few minutes a day, every day. I'm really tired of seeing posts on social media and hearing people telling me about family members and childhood friends and classmates and co-workers dying in their 40s and 50s prematurely of preventable diseases like diabetes, strokes, heart attacks, and cancer. I've significantly reduced my sugar intake, but it's only been a month. I still got a long way to go. But in that little bit of time of exercising every day, walking like I'm telling you a little bit every day, I'm seeing a little bit of lost weight, reduced inflammation, my triglycerides are lower, my blood sugar is lower. Please, family, you making plans, you trying to do A, you talking about A, B, C, and all this shit, and you can't do none of it if you dead. None of it means anything if you're laying up in the hospital or you're dead. So let's reclaim our health, like for real, for real. All right, family? Peace and black power.